Hello and welcome to episode 186 of Masters of the Forge Adepticon Special.
If you might notice, both of us have really rough voices because we've been talking a lot.
We have been talking a lot. We have been yelling a lot. We've been whining a lot. Yes, yeah. I was obnoxious. I did the obnoxious thing. I was whining quite a bit.
I had moonshine.
I
had moonshine.
Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we are, aren't we? Okay.
Let's talk. Let's talk about the preparation for Adepticon. And we talked about a bunch of it during our last episode, like some of the hobby we were doing and whatnot. But there are some very specific things that we did in the weeks prior to Adepticon. Well, I painted the name tag. So Arky Dan, like in 2019, sent me name tags for he does the Tectonic Craft Studios, and he does laser cut stuff, and he sent me laser cut name tags with my name, Wendy's name, and Quinn's name on them.
Yeah.
So those were really awesome. So I painted mine up. I did that little bit of hobby. I had just a total debacle with my like the thing I wanted to submit for my Golden Demon, the 2 Gazghouls diorama. So the base just kept on being glossy no matter what I did. And I couldn't figure out what it was, but what I think it was the glue that was holding down the sand and stuff was reactivating every time it touched a liquid.
Oh.
So whether it was a spray or me wiping on, like painting on it,
yeah,
like it just wouldn't dull.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah,
that's rough.
So what I did was I YOLO'd like a quarter bottle of black craft paint onto it, like apple barrel craft paint from Walmart. And honestly, it actually worked.
Nice.
I think it really just diluted it a lot.
Probably.
So whatever. Fortunately, it wasn't actually like a model or any like good basing material. It was really just sand. So it really didn't lose any definition. In fact, it might have helped the composition somewhat. And actually, I got a really good dry brush down on it too. So I actually think that the model's better than it was.
Right.
I did some more touch-ups. More on that piece later.
Cool.
I also went and Wendy and I went out and got a mani-pedi, and I got my hair did.
You cleaned up the beard too.
Oh yeah, you gotta clean up the beard. You gotta look good.
And the chin. You got the chop stash running real well.
Chop stash is back. Yeah. Wendy says I look like a puppet. She's kind of not wrong. She's kind of not wrong, dude. It's for real. So I feel it was looking good. It was feeling good. Wendy ordered me a Spaceballs the t-shirt prior to like 2 days before, and it arrived, and I'm super excited about that.
Yeah.
The last thing I did in like direct preparation for Adepticon was when I got home, I cut out some orc decals and decaled them to my fingernails, and then put some clear nail polish over them, and they look so good. I put like a DACA sigil on my pointer finger so I could shoot people with it, and I did a zog off on my middle finger so I could tell people to zog off.
Nice.
It was pretty sweet. Oh, I lied. The very, very last prep I did was I made like 3 dozen power pancakes for Quinn.
All right.
Before I left.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And that's it for my direct. Did you have any additional preparation before you left, or were you just working?
Basically, I think I'd finished all of my stuff back in maybe February. Nice. And the only thing I was working on was getting everything into the KR cases to bring them here. Right. So that was like the last bit of it, was making sure that everyone fit. Oh, and to make sure I actually had some of the models that I needed, because my Zangors, I mean, you know how I feel about my Zangors.
Oh yeah, you love them.
Yeah,
You would never want any harm to come to them.
It's amazing how often they got thrown at everything that would just blow them up. It's just like, here, die, go away. But yeah, I didn't have a whole lot because I just, kind of over prepared back in January and February because I was so ready to come here.
Yeah, well, that's the way to be, dude.
Yeah,
that's the way to be.
Yeah.
Being super prepared.
Yeah.
Well, so I packed and I had to wake up at 2:45 a.m. in order to catch my 5:10 flight.
Man, you're not going to like it whenever I tell you what time I woke up to.
So that was not great.
Yeah.
But I got there was a lot of hemming and hawing about how I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just ended up parking in long-term parking at Albany Airport.
Oh, okay, so
instead of making Wendy get up and drive me there, or somebody else, or take an Uber for $25, or
all sorts of other stuff.
Any number of other idiotic things. Staying at a hotel there, it really was just economic. It's just going to cost me $60.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
Yeah,
I'll just go home later and drive away, which sounds great, especially since my flight tomorrow is not until 2:00 p.m. So,
wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm going to be getting up early, and Adon and I are taking a...
I might actually get back before you do.
You might.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, was your flight uneventful? Mine was pretty okay. Now, at one point... Sorry, I know I just asked you a question.
Yeah.
When you land in Chicago, it's rarely like super smooth.
He landed at Midway Airport, which is the YOLO of most airports, in that you either scream YOLO or witness me. It's one of those two.
The great thing about Midway is my flight was we were hemming and hawing. There's a lot of hemming and hawing in this episode. We couldn't decide whether we do Midway or O'Hare, and Dustin said he'd pick me up from Midway or O'Hare, and he picked you up from O'Hare, which was super nice.
And thank you, Dustin.
Yeah,
we love you.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, there was wind coming into Chicago.
Really?
Some turbulence.
That never happens. That never happens in Chicago. The place known as the Windy City.
So they hover. The plane is like kind of hovering over the tarmac or the runway as it's coming down. Like the pilot's trying to decide whether or not, when the right time, when the plane is at the right pitch to hit the runway. And at one point he or she obviously decided, well, now's as good as any time, and set her down. We were definitely on one set of landing gear for a little while there.
Next year's Friendly for Adepticon is going to be Top Gun as the theme, so this is a good preview of that.
When I got in, Dustin and I helped set up we were doing bags and setting up tables and stuff, doing some volunteering, which is super nice. You when you do that, as long as you do it for a decent amount of time, not like just show up and help for a little bit, you get to do the I'm not sure if this don't quote me, because they may not
do it next year.
They might not do it next year. They might change it up, but you can kind of sneak in to get your bag early.
Yeah. That is a nice thing to do, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it is super nice.
If you're going to go and sacrifice your back and lower back and whatnot, you might as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I get to say that I am the most I got to tell everybody that I was the most magnanimous of all the children in the room, because I already had a VIG, so I really didn't need to get my bag early. I was getting an excellent bag anyways. So that's that was my title, magnanimous. It was very nice. I hit the bits guy like instantly. What about you?
I don't want to talk about it. I was there enough. I don't need to talk about my sins.
How dare you?
Well, I mean, I picked up Well, my buddy Keith had a shopping list, and his shopping list was, "Hey, give me some like firstborn Marines, like things that you can find if they have any, or like it was a really broad thing." And I just messaged him back and said, "Hey, dude, there's like 7 boxes of firstborn.
Yeah.
If you want, there's 1 box of Rogue Trader Beakies."
Yeah.
There's not enough room in any of my stuff to take all this stuff back. So
Yeah, and to be clear,
Yeah.
we're talking about the Toledo Game Rooms setup.
they've got some amazing stuff. I picked up an Armin there, the 30K Armin for real cheap, and I found a bunch of
There was a
Admech beats.
$75
God.
sorcerer on disc that you didn't buy, you coward.
Well, you walked. It's like, "Hey, man, have you seen this?" I was like, "Oh, that looks cool." And then I think you moved your thumb off of the price tag and went, "No, I'm okay. I'm okay."
It was metal.
So I don't care if he was a member of Sepultura.
So what did you pick up for your friend?
Let's see. Keith, I picked him up a challenge coin because that's one thing he wanted. Some objective markers from GW that are event only. Like, you can't get with the
yeah,
Warhammer
those are
store.
pretty.
Yeah, they're neoprene. They're real nice.
Yeah, those are sweet.
The 2 event models, and there was something else.
Right.
I can't remember what the other thing is.
Well, if he couldn't be here in
Yeah.
person or in spirit, he could be here in wallet.
Yeah.
I got.
Well, I owe him money. Well, I owed him money because he ordered the Armin Exalted box for me.
Nice.
And so I was just like, yeah. I had the cash from him. He's like, "No, you're going to Adepticon. I want stuff." It's like, rad. You got it.
So while everybody else was queuing up to register, I zoomed over to Toledo Game Room, and the one thing I needed that I wanted was a old metal Nagash to put on my display board for next year.
Yeah.
And I found him for $30.
That was pretty cool.
I mean, the paint job is just a nightmare.
Well, you
But
can redo that.
Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll put him in acetone and he'll be fine because he's metal.
Yep.
One funny thing someone mentioned, I forgot who it was, but it might have been Dustin, it might have been someone else. They said that the original sculptor of Nagash was given the task of having a couple of different head options or something, and one of them was like more of a zombie-ish head.
Yeah.
That he put a lot of effort into. And the other head was this giant goofy skull head. but he could do a zombie one and a skull one, and he wanted it to be the zombie one, so he just did so badly on the skull one that he thought that they would never pick it, and corporate picked it.
Yeah, that was a sad story.
But I think it'll work as a statue.
Yeah.
Like it's someone's rendition of the actual Nagash.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be cool. The swag bag is giant and full. You can find out what's in it online somewhere. I really don't need to go into it. I gave away most of it. I threw away some of it, and I kept you know what though? The things I traded for though, I did some trades. And I gave away a lot, but one of the things in there was one of the packs of GW like battle mat, the cardboard battle mat.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is super heavy, but I have a pretty decent carry-on. I have my KR bag for carry-on, so I have 3 of those now, and my buddy Lathan is sending me one because I'm giving him all the God tier stuff that I got, in addition to whatever God tier stuff I got from the
from last year,
the 2020 one,
or
2020, the 2020 one.
I gave you mine. You also got the Dominion box.
Yeah, the Dominion box,
which meant I finally got that sorceress, that enchanter that I've been wanting.
Oh yeah, she's cool.
Yeah,
she's cool. Yeah, I gave you that. I gave the Hobgrots to Aaron, and Aaron is going to give those to his kid to stick together and just mess with.
Aww,
that'll be nice. And I'm bringing the rest of the.
That's sweet.
I'm bringing the rest of the Stormcast home for Kendrick, and he'll like those.
Yep.
He's got a new kid, so he probably has. He's like in that part. He's probably in that part of it where he's like, "Oh wait, I actually do have lots of time on my hands, but I can't go anywhere. Crap."
And I'm pretty sure you can't Uber anything from your friendly local game store.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can. That's a good question. I always wondered about that. All right.
So then we went to the GW preview, which was there was a long queue for that. I think that they definitely are talking about working on the queues.
Yeah.
For next year.
Good. It was was pretty bad.
It would,
on that
you know,
one.
I wonder if it would be best if they did like groups for registration. Like if you're group A, you can register between these times. Group B can register between other times, or something like that. Or if they would put the queue up the stairs, I don't know, something like that. I'm sure someone who's really good at logistics will figure that out.
Yeah, that first queue was pretty miserable. And I think what did I do? I stood in the queue for a bit, and I thought, nah, if I can go to the preview and then register after, I'll just do that. And that's what I ended up doing.
Well, anyways, we went to the GW preview. All of us together. There's a lot of John from the IC's Discord and from just online. John, he's in your area. He's a Texan, or he's a Englishman who lives in Texas.
Yeah.
Are you saying Austin isn't Texan?
Well, I mean, Austin is Texas. I lived in Austin. I just know that, if you're from Texas, you live in certain geographical areas, and so we have to, say, all right. Like, in New York, it's upstate or capital district.
Oh, you're right. I'm a New Yorker.
Yeah.
But you're
not from the city.
I'm not from this. So if
the
you're
city of a thousand smells.
Yeah. So if you're Texan, you say, but I'm from Austin. Please don't prejudge me. Anyways.
That's why I always say I'm from South Texas, because everyone's like, we don't have a Texas accent. No, I don't. Mom worked real hard on that to make sure I didn't. All right.
That was a great preview.
That was a great preview.
It was a great preview. There's a lot of cool stuff. That video rules.
The Horse Heresy stuff, the Kill Team stuff. I mean, there was just...
I'm going to watch that video on my big TV at home when I get home.
Yeah.
So I have a week of Warhammer TV to watch too.
Also the Necromunda stuff, the new Ashwaste stuff.
Oh my god, it looks so good. I hope they give us some.
Yeah.
Games Workshop. Hey.
It'd be nice if they gave us some of that.
Andy, can I have some, please? Anyways,
that'd be funny if Andy actually listened to us.
So what I thought was a really fun trivia beforehand. We all logged into a bar trivia. They put a bar trivia together, and
I was giving you the answers, and you were either didn't notice or was ignoring me. I'm like, dude, it's this.
I was randomly picking.
Oh,
but I was number one for one round because I randomly picked who is the red angel, and it's Angron.
He's so angry.
He is angry. He is the red angel. That was fun. What was your favorite thing in the preview?
Horse Heresy, I think. But I mean, it's
pretty broad. But hey, there's no wrong answer here. I asked you what your favorite thing was. My favorite thing was the Necromunda guys, because I would love to make them into Diggas.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I'm between Necromunda, the Ashwaste group, or the all the news about Horse Heresy,
right?
And the Ashwaste guys, I would turn them into probably an Inquisition warband or something like that, just because they are so very odd. But
all that stuff's worth buying regardless of whether you play the actual that game or not. More terrain for AOS is actually also pretty good.
I forgot about that.
We went
Well, a lot of that terrain, I mean, you could be used easily on a Thousand Suns board. And so every time it comes up, I'm just like, look, I've got to move out of my apartment. Just wait a few more
You're working on it, dude.
I'm
You're going to get there.
it.
You're going to get there.
I'm getting tired. I don't want to be die in there and people walk in. It's like, man, there's a lot of musical instruments and a lot of unpainted minis. What's wrong with this guy?
So after the preview, we went to the worst restaurant.
It wasn't the worst
in
restaurant.
The snow.
I mean, it wasn't great. It wasn't even good. It could have been worse.
It existed.
Yes, it existed.
They had a crunchy pig and lobster roll.
That was pretty nasty.
That is a cursed menu item.
Yeah. But also, hey, the waiter was,
he was.
He'd been having some chemicals.
He worked in the spice mines of Kessel.
There we go.
For sure.
There we go. Yep.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep.
And the cornbread was okay, but the butter was so sweet.
When you ordered that, I remember looking at it and thinking, that's not cornbread. That looks like pound. Like, I know what it looked like.
It looked like a pound cake, yeah.
And Dustin said pound cake. I'm like, that's pound cake. That's gross.
It's corn pound cake.
Yeah.
So the next day, I went down to the hall for the first thing in the morning, so I could look at all the tables and stuff.
Yeah.
And boy, the tables are really nice, and if you're thinking of Adepticon from 5th, 6th edition, it is way beyond that now. All the terrain is really nice. There's
some beautiful terrain. Oh,
yeah,
man.
The terrain's always looked good at Adepticon.
Yeah.
It just some of the tables were light in the past. That is zero. That is not even remotely the case now. They have great terrain.
And there was so much stuff. Cause there were tables for everything. There's Necromunda, Zone Mortalis, all that.
All of it was delightful.
Yeah.
For the 40K terrain,
yeah,
they were doing player place terrain. So even if it was a little light, you can always put
move
the
it
terrain
around
where you need it.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. But anyways, yeah, you were saying about the other terrain.
Oh, there was, for instance, I do know that one of the guys who was running Horse Heresy, Dan, who's one of our listeners. Hi, Dan.
Hi, Dan.
Who I gave dice to.
Nice.
He'd actually painted he'd painted a board for the Horse Heresy, one of the boards for the Horse Heresy event. And it was pretty amazing. Because
awesome.
I had made a comment about, only in the Horse Heresy events do you see the armies are better painted than the terrain.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, there's my table over there. And I was like, okay, well, that's an exception.
That's dude. The tables that they had for Marvel Crisis Protocol and for Star Wars Legion.
Oh, those are amazing.
Unreal. They did a those were not second thoughts.
No.
Right?
No.
They're not 40K or AOS, but those tables did not look like
amazing.
they were an afterthought. So great job on Adepticon for the terrain. It was amazing.
There was some of the terrain was just so beautiful. Just there's so many Zone Mortalis boards that are painted just really well, and I've painted those boards, and I know how much of a pain they can be.
Yeah.
And just looking at it and thinking, hey, I know exactly what it took to get that to where it was just really nice for me made me feel better about myself, I guess.
So on Thursday,
let's see, what did we do Thursday?
What did you do Thursday?
All right, so I know I got a game in against Dustin because I wanted to make sure that I had not played my friendly list.
Right.
I knew my list was friendly because I took a Vortex Beast and I took Zangors, which, Thousand Suns, it's the unfriendly list is look at all of my Terminators, which would have been easier to transport, but whatever. I played against him. It was an objectives game, and he kind of null deployed, and I've got that Master Informator Warlord trait that allows me to essentially deploy and then move everybody around, and so he had one unit on the table, so I grabbed every other objective and then went after that one unit with my Warlord, a Dreadnought, the Terminators, and something else. No, I went after with those, and I sent another unit of Rubrics over to the other objective, and so I basically shot him off the board at the end of the first turn, and that was rough for him. I felt bad for him. He was playing Space Wolves though, so no quarter from Thousand Suns. But it was a really fun game. I had a good time. I won that one on objectives, but he was coming back and just tearing my army apart. Like there wasn't much left whenever the game was. Whenever I had to leave because I went to go do the blending class, the blending boot camp. So I guess we're just going to talk about what we did those days. Blending boot camp, great class. Some of the classes at times, you don't really know what the skill level is.
Yeah, Dustin mentioned that. He said, and I recall this from the last time I was there, Gen Con for their classes, for all of their events, has a requirement that the people running the event set an experience level.
Yeah.
With this specific thing. So that would be a cool improvement if Adepticon wanted to do that, to have a requirement be materials required, which a lot of them don't say what the materials required are.
Yeah, that does make that a little bit difficult sometimes.
And some of them don't say what experience level is required. So those two things would be great improvements for the events.
Yeah. So the blending boot camp was... for me, it was a little basic. It was very well taught. It was very well taught.
Like if you had a little skill with blending, you would learn how to blend.
I would have had a. But I'll be honest, I was happy anyway because there was a couple of techniques that he taught that was like, oh, that's good to know. But a lot of the stuff I was like, whenever I got the wet palette, I'd been experimenting and figured it out on my own.
Right, but since now you know the terminology.
Yes, that's helpful.
If you go to an advanced class, you won't have to ask what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah.
So there's that.
It was a good class though. He did really well. I cannot remember his name though. But I got a apothecary and I painted it this kind of blended from this very dark green up to this yellow, and it's. It was really fun. I had a great time with that.
Nice.
And I think that was the only class I had on Thursday because I had 2 classes on Friday.
Okay.
No, I had 2 things on Friday.
So my Thursday was gaming.
Every day was gaming for you, dude.
Well, yes, it was. Yes, it was. That's very true. Did I play with Dave? Yeah, I played with Dave for... The way I'm remembering my weekend is by flipping through my pictures on my phone.
That's a good way to do it.
So I had a game with Dave first, and it was... Wait, did I have a game with Dave first?
I thought you... Did you have your first game with Dave?
Or was it Dustin? No, it was Dustin.
Okay.
I played with Dustin first, then I played with Dave. So
that's right, because Dave was playing Colin.
Dave was playing Colin. I just took a lot of pictures of Dave playing with Colin, which made me think that I played Dave first. Yeah. So I played with Dustin, and Dustin was practicing his 40k friendly list, and I was practicing my 40k friendly list, and that game got super brutal. He reserved all of his Terminators for Deep Strike.
Oh, okay.
And so the game was basically 1,500 points of Orc Beast Snaga Cavalry versus 750 points of Space Wolf Cavalry.
Ooh.
It did not end well.
We both kind of smashed him that day, but then he did really well in the friendly. He took a beating from us.
But you know what he said? He said it was he took it like that he kind of was learning how to adjust his tactics and stuff to play it better. So I like to think that it was us being generous in beating him so badly that he improved his play style going forward. So Dustin, you're welcome.
Well, he also has a very beautiful army.
Oh my God, it's freaking gorgeous.
Flea bags, but
I
whatever.
love it. Yeah, it was sitting here in the room on the rack for quite some time. Well, obviously all weekend, and it's beautiful to look at.
Good looking list, good looking army.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, Dustin.
Yeah, definitely.
My game with Dave was super sweet because it was Orcs versus Orcs. It was Speed Freaks Orcs with Bad Moons in another beautiful army.
Yes. Yeah, his display board is so nice.
Oh my God. And again, my friend, we're both practicing our friendly list, so my Beastnaga cavalry versus some speed freaks. So it was really fun to see those two armies smash together and cause mayhem and havoc. And we decided it was a tie. I don't think we quite. I think we still had like a turn left, but we're like, was this a tie? Yeah, sure, it's a tie. I don't know.
Sometimes it's easier that way. It's like the game is ended, but there might be a turn left, and there's just no reason.
For both of those games, we did what we did was we just used the open war deck.
Yes, I love that thing so much.
It's kind of unfortunate because I wanted to use the new Tempest of War deck, but the embargo date was yesterday.
Yep.
So we used the old one. They still had. I was looking around, and they have Titanicus there. By the way.
Yes, they do.
Did you want to buy a Titan?
What do you mean?
Were you compelled to purchase a Titan?
Like a big one, like Dave did?
Yeah, like a big one.
Well, I mean, I've got the Titanicus box set. I just haven't built yet.
Yeah, that's a good itch to scratch. Not just like. When I say they had Titanicus there, yes, they had real Titanicus there, but they also had giant-sized Titanicus there, which...
They played that game on Friday night? No, Saturday night, last night, yeah.
Yeah, so cool.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind having an old armor cast. Were they Warhounds? But not right now. Not until I get out of this apartment.
Our Thursday night activities were interesting. I think yours are basically you can't talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a thing with GW.
Yeah.
I had a thing with Terrace and the Geek Nation Tours folks. As always, Geek Nation Tours is a great host and always nice to us. And all the people I talked to were happy with the service they got from Geek Nation Tours. Some of them were not sure at first, but once they got into it and actually experienced the service that you get, they said that they were going to come back and again.
Well, I had breakfast. We had breakfast with a couple of them this morning. Mm-hmm. Like you took off, but it was like I think that one guy's name was Dave.
Yeah, Dave, the Irish guy.
Yeah, and then there's other two guys. One's from Connecticut and one's from Hawaii. It's funny, I know where they're from, but I cannot remember their names at all. Yeah, that's the way my memory works. Yeah, I'll remember those things, but not the names. And I really do. I am, sad that I missed that. But then on the other hand, the preview thing I went to, the GW thing I went to was cool, and I can't talk about it.
Yeah, so. we got to do some networking, and that was really nice.
That was quite nice because this is my first Adepticon, so like I don't know a lot of people, and everyone's been very, very friendly. But my own my own nature of kind of standing back and analyzing the room before I start trying to become more involved doesn't work that well on the first time I'm in a place. So, all right, so that's Thursday. Shall we talk about Friday? Do you feel that the Schwartz might be with you?
Someone has a picture of me taking a shot at 9 a.m.
Well, yeah, that's...
So that might give you an idea
it's
of
funny
how the day went.
People were showing the picture. Look, Adam was drinking at 9 a.m. I was like, I think he filled up his flask at like 8. I'm pretty sure I watched him do it,
So I wasn't... we make it seem a little bit more than it is. I was not sloshed. I was
you're
having
fine.
A great day. How do I describe it? The 40K friendly is fun.
Yeah.
The 40K friendly is not a narrative play event. It is a casual play event.
It's very casual lists. Some of the lists are extremely friendly. Most of them are all friendly, but I mean, some are more friendly than others, I will say.
Some are more friendly than others. I think a lot of the time you'll see, like what I did, is people just taking a themed list.
Yeah.
Whether friendly or medium or mean.
Yeah.
I think mine is an okay list. I think it would actually be okay for a matched play game night at the store. I think it might have been a little too powerful for the friendly, but as I got drunker, the more friendly it got. So that was fine. And that's exactly what I was hoping would happen.
So, shall we talk about like our games? Like talk about the first ones and second and third?
Oh, I have a picture of some of the rules. Let me talk about those real quick.
Talk about the rules, yeah.
So each of the games you got to pick secondary objectives. You didn't pick like from the book or anything like that, obviously.
Yeah, these were all unique.
They were all unique secondary objectives. The secondaries were called, and you picked 5 of them, and you only scored each one of them once. So Spaceball 1 self-destruct, that one you had to be out of your own deployment zone, so you're trying to escape the self-destruct kind of.
Right.
Yogurt's Good Wishes, you got two VP if you bought or gave your opponent a drink. It didn't have to be alcoholic, but most of the time, yes.
Yeah, it was almost everything I was offered was alcoholic.
Yep. Keep firing a-holes. That one was, I think, killing units. I'm looking at just the list here.
Yeah.
All About the Merchandising and Pizza the Hut. I forgot what those were. Dark Helmet was Slay the Warlord.
Yeah.
Comb the Desert was be in your opponent's deployment zone, I think.
Have 1 or 2 units
at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You owe me $1,000,000 space bucks or else. I think that was killing units, like 3. No, that was kill the most expensive units, I think.
Yeah.
Or secret units. Today's special, I don't remember what that was. Today's special. I was taking it a lot.
I think that was the one where you took out the most expensive unit.
Oh yeah, that was the most expensive unit. Yeah. And you owe me $1,000,000 space bucks was a headhunter one, or not a headhunter. It was you just picked 3 secret units.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so those are really cool. The missions were all fun. You know, for example,
what was it? Capture Princess Vespa?
Yeah, I found a Druish princess.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those where there's 6 objectives, but then one of them ends up being the actual objective, the Druish princess.
That one was pretty cool. And then there was the second one was that Comb the Desert?
The second one I think was Comb the Desert. And actually, I think I wrote it down. No, I didn't. But yeah, they were super fun. So
very thematic.
What was your first game like?
First game I played against Craig, who had Gene Stealer Cult. It was an objective game, and the list I have is really good for objectives. Not firepower, but for objectives, yeah. And so I think I'd captured all but 1 objective before the end of the first turn, and we rolled the 6, and she was back in my deployment zone. And so I automatically, like, that was extra 6 VP. And so it's like,
6.
I knew immediately, it was like, okay, this game's over at the beginning of the second turn. So, but yeah, that was a really good one. I had not played Gene Stealer Cult in a while. And so it was, going through and figuring out how to play them against them. So
did Hank explode, or not Hank?
Fred.
Fred
did not. Wait, no. Did Fred? Fred did not explode in that. Yeah, we're gonna have a theme here of Fred exploding.
So I'll have you know that for every single one of my games, it was required that we re-roll the explosion dice if it didn't explode.
Yeah, that's
at all times.
Yeah, that.
My first game was against a really nice Crimson Fists player from. I don't remember. It's a state I don't think about a lot, so I won't say which one it is. Anyways,
Plasma.
Yeah, the army was gorgeous, and I had fun rushing out and attacking it. And he was really polite, like a 30-something year army vet. And I just aimed for his dreadnought, and I did end up capturing the Druish princess at the end, and I won that game.
Craig's army was really... I want to make sure I say this. Craig's army was really nice looking. It was a good looking... All the armies I played against were really good looking. It was just like, this is nice. It is nice to be playing fully painted armies that people have like really... maybe not struggled over, but they've actually thought about, how to put these things together. That was really nice.
So mission 2 was Comb the Desert.
Mm-hmm.
For this one... okay, so for the last one, all the objectives actually did stay on the battlefield, but just the Jewish princess was worth more.
Yep.
For Comb the Desert, you had to find Yogurt's lair.
Yeah.
And Yogurt's lair ended up being the only objective.
Oh man, yeah, that was rough. That one was rough for me. I played against Garrett, who's from Mattoon, Illinois, which is just slightly south of where I used to live in Illinois.
Right.
And he had Gazgul. And he was basically running a Green Tide army.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've never played against Gazgul, surprisingly
Did
enough.
Gazgul escape? We have to be clear. Once you find Yogurt's lair, you can escape from Yogurt's lair. Mm-hmm. And to do so, you have to be holding the objective.
That's the issue, though. That was not a clearly written rule.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of... the way it was worded was whoever was the fugitive, which I was the fugitive for that one.
Yeah, you were the fugitive and the attacker.
Yeah.
And you could, so like depending on who you were, either the fugitive the attacker deployed all their army first, then the fugitive deployed their army, and then the fugitive could escape. So the fugitive, if they held the objective, Yogurt's lair, they got 5 points if they escaped with a unit.
Yeah.
And the attacker got 1 victory point for killing every enemy unit.
Well, the issue I ran into was whenever the objectives were revealed, Gazgul was literally sitting on Yogurt's lair.
Oh, well, yeah, that's going to be a problem for you.
And it was just like, well, I've lost. Now, you could, if you're a fugitive, you could still go through and escape, though, if I remember correctly. And so I started pulling, I pulled my Infernal Master off first, because, there's no way this is going to happen. And I pulled off my Exalted Sorcerer and then my Infernal Master. Mm-hmm. So, but that was a good game. That was, I had a lot of fun with that game, too.
I played against Clint Robe Guy.
That's right.
So I was drunk after that one. At that point, I was
sure you
very
both
happy.
Were. Yeah,
having a great time. He played his Sisters of Battle, which he has for the Penitent Engines. He has 3 of the Adepta droids or whatever from years ago. It's an old Adepticon exclusive mini.
Yeah,
that's just a super sweet. Hold on, you need to see these guys. This is great radio.
Yeah,
maybe I'll post a picture of it.
Oh, those.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. They're these big, gangly. Nice. They almost look like men of like you could say that they're men of iron of some kind from the Imperium's distant past.
We do need to talk about the Adepticon Ancient Order of whatever it is that mini they gave us.
What? Wait. Oh, I didn't get that. So that's just I didn't get one of those.
You didn't?
Well, maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Which one is it?
It's a Mechanicus, little servitor that's carrying around his staff. It's about the size of a quarter.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get one.
Oh.
Yeah, I went up there and they were out.
It was in my swag bag.
Oh, is it a swag bag?
Yeah, it's a swag bag. It's going to be in your bag. You probably have it. You just didn't realize it.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, Clint and I legitimately tied that game.
Good.
Yeah, we had a really nice time.
Oh,
and we tied the game.
I'm sure.
And then there were Schwartz battles. Russ, I think, or was it Rich? Was it Rich or
Russ?
Rich or Russ who was in the friendly?
Russ was in there.
I have a video of him fighting Robe Guy with his Schwartz.
That was funny.
Yeah.
All right. And then the third game.
I
played against Christian, who had Custodes. Christian's also from the Mattoon area. He was friends with Garrett. And it turns out that if I had killed off Makar, or let Makari kill more things, Christian was going to have to take more shots. But Garrett did not tell me that. If he had told me that, I would have just like lined up the Zangors right at Makari and just let Makari go.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I didn't know who Christian was at that time. But that's just the kind of guy I am. Let's see. Custodies. Custodies are tough.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And there was like no objective. It was basically it was kind of a kill 'em. It was, what was it? Go to that center. It was flip the switch. So you had to go capture that center objective and try and, destroy Spaceball 1. And he got up there and there was just no way I could shoot through the Custodies. It just wasn't happening. He did give me a little, a very small mason jar of moonshine.
Nice.
I've never had moonshine before. That was see, Adam can see my face to see the expression I'm making. I'm sorry for the rest of y'all. It was fascinating. It's very easy drinking, and I don't think I want to drink it again. Not that it was bad. It's just like, no, we don't walk down certain paths.
This is not for me.
Yeah.
Understood.
I liked it. They're just like, no, I don't need to be drinking this. So
I had a great game with Eloise. She brought her sister's battle, but
nice.
Like Clint's are a lot of they're a lot of conversions, and they're really cool.
Yeah.
Hers are really cool, and the modern ones.
Yeah.
So we had a really fun game. I think she's from France.
Okay, I remember. I saw her. I didn't talk.
I mean,
to her
English is extremely good, like better than mine, probably. So
Yeah,
that's neither here nor there. We had a really fun game. We were drunk, but we were both white girl wasted, so it was fine.
Oh, hold on. Hey, Tucker. I know you're listening. You mentioned, that you felt sorry for me because Adam was going to be white girl wasted, and you you even said, "Yeah, enjoy Saturday," and you were correct. You were correct. So
well, it's fine because Eloise was literally white girl wasted, and I was figuratively a white girl wasted. So we had a really fun game.
Oh, I'm sure.
I honestly don't remember anything about the mission itself, but I remember the game was fun, and I said buckle this, and I pushed the button and went for. Oh, that was one of the custom. There were also customs. Stratagems that I forgot about talking about. Yeah, one of them is
dink 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 dink
dink dink dink dink dink dink. Yeah, you had to actually sing the dink dink song for one of them.
There were people singing before the games even started.
Oh yeah, that was me.
Yeah, well, it was more than just you.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's extremely true. I
even did it, and I didn't even ask for the CP.
Well, once it gets in your head.
Yeah, it's once it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. So also you could use the power of the Schwartz on someone, and you had to use they gave you rings. What are they called? Not blow pops.
They're the rings that have the sucker.
They're like
on
suckers.
them.
They're like ring pops.
There we go.
Everybody got a ring pop, and you had to wear it in order to use the Schwartz on someone.
Mine got real nasty real quick.
Well, mine was down to nothing.
Wow,
both
phrasing.
Eloise and I took a picture of Eloise and my ring because we had sucked our rings down to the very nub by the end of our game. Anyways, that was really. We were also given jam, but
not raspberry.
No, not raspberry.
It was great.
But honestly, I never jammed anybody.
I didn't either.
I really think the jam is for when you're getting messed up by somebody who is maybe not realizing what the friendly is for.
Yeah.
So if they're if their army is super powerful and you're getting messed up, then maybe you don't feel so bad about jamming them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's fair. What else? I think that's it for Thursday or for Friday. Did we go out? No, we ate in Friday.
So Friday afterwards, because we finished at 6, and then I was down to see the class that I wanted to see. The one class I wanted to attend the most was Lose the Fear, Green Stuff Miniature Modeling and Sculpting.
Oh yeah, that sounded like a good one for you to take.
The instructor is Joe Otero, and he's like, yeah, sometimes I do a second level or a level 2 version, every once in a while, and whenever he does level 2, I'm going to take it because I learned so much in this one. I've got experience with green stuff, but there's a couple of things like, look, if you want to do a skull, it's just this, and this, and it's like the perfect skull. And I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see close up. And I just was like, all right, fine, let's see if this works. And I come back later, and I actually have my glasses like, wow, that really is a skull. But I learned purity seals, how to put a skull in a purity seal, how to do a leaf, how to do a feather, and how to do like braided robe. So if you have a chance,
wow, that's a wide variety of things.
Yeah, but it's all like off the same techniques. It's like, here, make this little ball, stretch it out to a teardrop. Here, make this ball, stretch it out to just this. Here's this, stretch it this way. Stretch into tubes, just like the very basic technique, and then building off of there. So a really great class. I highly, highly, highly recommend it.
Awesome.
So yeah.
So then we had us a Saturday. So Saturday, I forgot to mention that on Thursday we played all our games in the main adventure hall, and we did the same thing on Saturday. Now I had left my miniatures in the hall on
they were
Thursday
so
night,
mad at you.
and I think so I'm used to doing that at Du Bois. At Du Bois GT, nothing changes on the tables. They leave the tables as they are because they end up just getting used for the same purpose the next day, and you're always in the same kind of game the next day, so it really isn't a big deal to leave your minis. But here, they have to move the tables around all the time. Like, sometimes the table's needed for one game or another, and terrain needs to be moved, so it's actually pretty annoying for you to leave your miniatures on the table. So, I won't do that next year. Anyways...
So
on
Saturday,
they
that was
gave
open
us
gaming for you.
Yeah, it was more open gaming. They gave us 3 more tables to use, which was super nice. Thank you, Matt. And our club played there all day.
Yeah, they were there all day.
Yeah, we were there all day playing. I played 3 games that day.
I went shopping.
You went shopping. What did you buy?
Let me see. I bought a Creature Caster, Demon Prince, the Lady Arcana or something like that. I picked up some event minis. Like I did not have a chance to shop on Thursday or Friday, so Saturday was the day I went and picked up things. I went by Master Mini Works, which is doing this one Kickstarter that I'm part of, and they're really nice. Or they're the guy who's running it. Man, I can't remember his name. Really nice cat. Gave me some free stuff because I was a backer of the Kickstarter. But spent a lot of time in the GW store looking at things I might pick up. I ended up picking up a Morax, which is like an Armiger variant.
Oh yeah.
I picked that up today, but yesterday I picked it up while I was there. And for like about 30 seconds, I was like about more like a minute and a half. I was walking around with it thinking, do I want this? Do I not want this? Do I buy it? Do I not buy it? And I went and put it down and decided today to just go ahead and go pick it up. Because why not?
You know what? Treat yourself. I did the same thing. I picked up, I decided I'm going to have one nice thing from this. One nice miniature from this convention, and I picked up a Grot Mega Tank, which I've always wanted. So I decided, screw it. If they have it, I'll get it.
I almost bought Magnus, the Forge World version, but I decided no, not now, not yet. Nope.
I played Rob, my first game, in a quick 1,000-point matched play game. We had a really fun game. He has some gorgeous custodes.
Oh, that was before the game with Aaron.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay, Aaron was really gracious. Yeah. Because our game went over a little bit, but Aaron was just chilling, He's a chill guy, and he's a chill California dude. He has nothing but patience, and I appreciated it. So Rob and I played a quick game, and it was a lot of fun. We had a nice match play game with his custodes versus my orcs, and I always love seeing, two nice looking armies on the table.
Yeah.
Even if the other army does overshadow the niceness of my army. Then I had a super sweet game with Aaron. Aaron brought 1,500 points of Orcs, and he hadn't played in a really long time. I'm not sure if it was his first game of 9th edition, but it was...
It sounded like his first game it sounded like one of his first games because he was asking some questions that were.
But he read up on it ahead of time, at which point, so he was actually kind of correcting me on a few things, which was really fun.
Yeah.
And actually, he's once you play 40K once, the tactics come back, right?
Oh yeah.
So he definitely had a good grasp of everything that was going on. Eventually, and It was a really fun teaching game, but at the same time, like I said, I could tell that he knew where he was and what he was doing. And he really made that list so that he could use 2 shock attack guns, which is,
Well, that's a fun idea.
That alone is worth making a list around.
Yeah.
The shock attack gun at one point did 23 damage to a knob on Smash a Squig.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah,
I had not heard about that at all.
And he got to use the ramming speed stratagem with his Def Dread and almost took out my kill rig with it, which was super sweet. That sure was a good day. Anyways, my last game that day was that the day did I get to play John that day? Yes, I played with John. I love John. He's great, and he also has muscles. Also has a cool shirt that shows his cool muscles. John is a nice person and has a good personality. Anyways.
And it's creepy. Next.
Yeah, definitely got creepy. His army's gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a great army.
He's been playing. He's been in 40K. He's younger than me, but he's been in 40K way longer.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of gorgeous models. He's got some sweet firstborn blood angels that he brought. He's got some Terminators in there, and black.
He has Death Company.
Death Company, thank you. He got so mad. The Black Legion, right? He's like, I hate you so much. Death Company. That's
amazing.
And tanks and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun playing against John. I believe that the Orcs prevailed that day. Now, what didn't prevail that day was it was. Why do I keep on getting Rob and Rich mixed up?
I have no idea.
Who had the Adepticon cocktail?
Russ.
Damn it. I hate that.
Man, that drink was so nasty.
Yeah, Russ. I'm not messing up the person. I'm messing up the name. Russ
that was such
drank
a nasty...
the Adepticon cocktail. It's Guinness, champagne, and simple syrup.
It just looked gross. I knew it was going to be bad. I read the ingredients and thought, this is going to be bad news. Mm-hmm. And then watching him drink it I felt bad for him.
Oh, yeah, there's some sweet pictures on the...
That was definitely I'm drinking this only out of pure spite. I paid for it, I'm drinking it. Yeah, that had to have been what he was thinking the entire time.
So the funny thing is we posted a picture of him drinking it and his reaction, and Adon posted a picture, and Adon loves it. He's not even a smoker, and his palate is terrible. No.
Wow.
What Adon said? What did he say? He said, "Have Russ come to me when his palate grows up."
Oh. That's harsh. Okay.
But anyways, that was a lot of fun watching Russ drink. It just looks so bad.
Yeah, it looked gross. I mean, it did not look pleasant. It did not look like something.
It's like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
So today.
Oh, today was fun. Today was interesting.
Today was great. I slept every day. I've woken up at like 6, anywhere between 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Today I woke up at. What did I wake up at? 8 something?
I think so.
almost not like
No,
almost.
it was around 8. 'Cause
I woke up at 8 o'clock.
I was ready to roll by 9 a.m.
Yeah, you were ready to roll by 9. Well, we were all kind of getting up because I had a game ready with Liz, Colin, and Dave, and we all wanted to have breakfast before with Dustin before he had to go.
Yeah.
And before you guys went. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. But we had breakfast. I went and had a game. What did you and Dustin do?
You wandered off, and we sat there for a while and talked to Dave from Ireland.
Ooh, Ireland Dave, yeah.
And the two guys from Geek Nations, one from Connecticut, one from Hawaii. And we hung out there for a while. I almost didn't get my change back because the waitress was just like, yeah, I'm just going to keep, like, this 60% tip, you know. And I got kind of aggravated about it, so Dustin laughed the entire time because I was like, I'm not leaving till I get that money. So yeah, we hung out with them for a bit and talked to them. That was a lot of fun. They were fun to hang out with, and they had some really great stuff to say about Geek Nation tours. Then I went over to go find you and everyone. I was going to hang out and maybe get a game with y'all. And Russ was in the IC's Discord server and said, hey, the CK Studio class has 2 available spots. And I just stood there and looked at it for like 5 seconds and thought, I'm going to go. And so then I had to like actually look up where it was in the map. It turned out it was like right around the corner, and I was like, boom, I was gone. Like, I'm not even sure if you guys noticed how fast I was. Like, I almost ran off dragging my stuff. And so I got to do that class, and I painted, I don't know what the mini is. It's a Death Guard mini. It's kind of an artillery piece.
Okay.
Plague Burst Crawler.
Yeah,
maybe,
Plague Burst Crawler.
So I painted one of those, and I painted a Plague Marine. But I got to work with the new Harder and Steinbeck airbrushes, which I'm running a Badger 105 and a Sotar 2020, and I love my airbrushes. They're good, and I've used them for a while. But I picked up that H&S, and I was like, "How much is this?" You know, and I'm sitting there saying this to Dustin. He's like, "Buy it, buy it." I'm like, "No, you've already convinced me to go buy that Morax. I'm not going to go through and do that." But at some point I'll probably end up buying one of them because the trigger action on them was just amazing. The quality of the control, I mean, it was a great brush. I mean, I still love my Sotar, don't get me wrong, still love my 105, but it was good to go back and have a lesson on airbrushing so I could go back and remember some of the things that Caleb had taught before that would give me, a chance to get my technique back up.
Right.
So yeah, I think that was like, my last thing I've officially done. And then you got in that game with Colin and
Liz
and
played
Dave.
their Imperium armies. They played Colin played his Custodes. Liz played her Lamenters.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to see those too because I've seen like a picture of them online, but I hadn't seen them in person.
Dude, they're gorgeous.
All right, we're going to take a break right here. We'll be back. And we are back.
We're back. We had to take a quick break there to negotiate dinner.
Negotiations.
Yeah, aggressive dinner negotiation.
No destruction.
Yeah, there was
no disintegrations.
There were no disintegrations involved, fortunately. So yeah, we played using the new Tempest of War card deck. Yeah. So it all it really does is takes Open War and Maelstrom of War and puts it in a deck. I don't know why we never thought of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know why we never. That's a great idea.
Well, it's very similar to the Warcry system. I was talking to Andy about it. Mm-hmm. And he was like trying to sell me on it, quote unquote. I think he was like concerned that I wouldn't like it. And I was like, this sounds beautiful. This sounds like the game I want to play.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and each card is really set up to. I don't think you'll ever need to discard a card because you. Like, the house rule on Maelstrom is you can discard a card if you can never use it. Right. They've worked really hard to make it so that you don't have to do that.
And he mentioned that too. Because that was one of the things we were talking about. And Warcry is very much like that. If you've played it a few times. I mean, it's not easy, but it goes through, and it's not so specific that you won't be able to pick up a secondary objective. So... Okay. I'm interested in it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. At any rate, they were all great opponents and great teammates. We had a really fun time. There was a lot of aggressive charging across the battlefield and smashing. Yeah. The smashing was quite frankly the fun part. We definitely tried to explode with my explosion dice, and at least the Custodes Dreadnought did manage to explode and kill a bunch of boys and destroy some parts of vehicles flying off in random directions. I got to play 9 great games at Adepticon.
Yeah.
And and I had a great time having dinner and hanging out with friends and seeing people I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm very grateful to have been here after 3 years, 2 years of COVID and 1 year of I shouldn't go when my child is 2 months old.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good idea. You know?
How do you feel, buddy? Feel good about it?
I'm ready to come back. I mean, it was, I think for me that the hobby classes are probably going to be something that I'm more stoked about. Like, I would do the friendly and then just do hobby classes, which is kind of what I did. Mm-hmm. I wish that they would do a second, class for green stuff. So, if anyone out there knows Joe Otero, just go talk to him about maybe doing it next year. Yeah, there's a lot of classes that I would like to take. Shoshi didn't do her class this year, but if she does it again next year, then I'll definitely go to that. So, but yeah, I had a great time. My wallet may not be real happy with me for the next few months, but
same.
Live a little.
The food was pretty expensive this year.
Oh man, $5 for a Pepsi,
a Diet Pepsi,
just one Pepsi.
It was brutal. I mean, I know why.
Yeah,
it just is. It is what it is, but it was brutal.
Yeah.
But I talked to Wendy, and she said, that's to be expected.
Yeah.
She's usually a lot more cognizant of the prices of things, and she said, it's just the price of going to a convention.
Yeah.
And that's true. We're in a company store situation. So,
yeah.
Again, I had a great time.
Yeah,
I will be back next year if I can make it. And,
same.
You should try it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like any other convention. If you've been to another convention and you've felt, out of place, I think Adepticon might be the place for you.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more diverse. It's a lot. There's a lot for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think in this, if you feel like you're going to be alone and you're not going to have a lot of friends, first of all, you can always
find us.
Yeah. But also try Geek Nation Tours because it comes with pre-made friends.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Right?
And that's how you know a lot of people, right? It's through Geek Nation.
Some of the stuff that, like, when I first came to Adepticon.
Hold on, we're not trying to this isn't free advertising, just so everyone knows.
Us or anything. No, it's just honest to God truth. We've known people who've gone to other conventions and felt like they didn't get a lot out of it because they didn't really do anything.
Yeah.
And if they had done that instead.
Yeah, he's keeping them busy.
Yeah, that's just it. But here's the thing, you don't have to do Geek Nation every year.
Yeah.
After the first, you know what I'm saying? If you've made a bunch of friends,
Yeah.
At the convention, you start making more and more friends.
That's right.
And making more connections.
And let's be honest, if you are listening to us on this podcast and we are there, you can come hang out with us. I'll give you some dice. I give away a lot of dice.
Yep. Play some games.
Yeah.
We'll give away dice. It'll be a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that we have dinner coming up.
Yes,
But thanks so much for tuning in. Next time we'll try to get that battle report in for you. We didn't end up playing a game here with each other, but that's okay. We'll languish in Tabletop Simulator for a little bit longer. But until then,
play the game the way you want to.
This podcast is protected by the Creative Commons Attribution, No Derivatives, Non-Commercial International License. More information about this license and contact information if you have any requests can be found at our blog, mastersoftheforge.com. The music used in this podcast was made by Podod of the duo Sublevel 3. The track is used with his permission.
it's such a good feeling to play games your way. It's such a happy feeling 40K'ing away. And when you throw dice with story in mind, it's such a wonderful way to unwind. It's a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you know that we'll be back when the fortnight's new, and we'll have new ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. We will too.